Hi, hello, and welcome to the Vertex of Abundance brought to you. Welcome to the Daily Tarot Buffet brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Abossi. I'll be your oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the findings for Earth, Earth signs. So if you do not know your rising, start with your North nodes. Everything goes down from there in terms of accuracy. Now, sometimes it's a special month or there's a special astrological event, but it's designed that way. If you do not know your rising, start with your North Node and then check everything else after your rising. Okay, so this is big energy for Earth signs. It might be because we're opposing or like it's the partner sign of the season that we're in. We're in Pisces season. So for Earth signs, there's a third, seventh, 11th house event. So, a lot of the metadata around our manifestations and the the energy informing our dharma, our actions, that's kind of where there's illumination, expansion, enlightenment, healing, revitalization. This is also a month where we're having an eclipse. So normally eclipses or normally lunar events are spiritual in nature. The solar events are material, they manifest. The thing about eclipses, there's a line of demarcation that's imperceivable. What does that mean? It could jump the boundaries. And the period lasts longer instead of it just being a rolling 6 months forward or backwards, depending on the lunation. It could actually expand upwards of 18 months. So again, big business. Big business. I'm just looking at clarifying cards, but I feel like we're using some difficult cycle that we've been in to come up and out of something. I feel like we're coming up and out of something. The specifier to that or the nomenclature, the taxonomy around the how do we would call this specific experience that's coming up and out of something as now we can use the energy to our advantage. Now, whatever we went through made something, we can make something out of it. Now, there was some darkness, maybe negativity, maybe toxicity. There could have been some ignorance, illusion, falsities, fear. We're seeing things maybe from like a different perspective, or maybe that perspective has evolved so much that now we have like God mode activated, a bird's eye view that's omnipotent, omnipresent, at least in respect to the cycle. Of course, we're not a supreme deity. We can't see everything, but we were having some minor perception of the situation, and over time, it inverted itself. It became perspective, meaning not only could we see all moving pieces, but we had a advantageous viewpoint. There's an energy here of wanting to trample over our something shit. we're chosen, we're favored, we're highly blessed and anointed. Something has happened where we've kind of made it in a sense, or in some kind of small scale. There are obstacles and barriers, I feel that perhaps because the seventh house can be enemies, third, seventh, 11th house. The seventh house can be open enemies or some things where there's a confrontation or where we're just opposing, or there could be opposition. Four of Wands, Eight of Cups, Six of Pentacles. Four Wands, Lovers, Moon card, Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Knight of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Five of Wands, Justice card. Something is coming our way. There's been some fruit ripening on the vine, or the promise of a material future, maybe a material abundance. And it seems like we're dealing with this energy that is, okay, I just heard demonic in its nature now. I want to qualify that statement. It doesn't always mean evil or even born from hell. It can mean that there's a low vibrational high intelligence. There's something high intelligence but low vibrational, meaning it can't really judge when it gets into trouble. It lacks perspective and maybe even maturity. So there's like some script running, there's some faulty program running. And this can be another being here. With the moon and the Knight of Pentacles, we can also be dealing with the Virgo energy, mainly rising. We also have 3, 4, 5 here of Wands, so that's progression of some kind. Nine of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, and Sword of the Sun, Eight of Swords. Yeah, so the universe kind of either held us back or restrained us because of some kind of terms and conditions. We're caught up into something very precise shifts, and it's going to be over the next couple few weeks. So onwards towards the new moon, something either being attended to by the divine, definitely for the next couple of months. So like Taurus season, something's going to shift and change, completely shift and change. There's already the shifts and changes are already happening, and it's on a scale of healing, but perhaps to the soul group. Something's being pushed out to the soul group. Two of Pentacles, Hangman, Temperance, Ten of Wands. So some energy that we're under, we're going to be coming out from underneath that. And I was saying that earlier, we're coming out from underneath something, we're using it to our advantage. There's another energy, entity, ideology here, though, that's been cloaking or hiding in our energy. They're going to be exposed. Moon card, sun card, they're going to be exposed. Temperance card, sun card. Now, that's a God level energy. Remember, I was saying God mode earlier? But it talks about this like eternal being. So something is looking at us in paradise. Out of all of our incarnations, out of all of our dimensional bodies, the highest one, the one that's connected to source, maybe not 100% connected to source, but living in the divine realm. Whatever incarnation reaches paradise is purging some kind of consciousness down here. There needs to be a dark night of the soul. It might not appear that where we withdraw and have to confront the things alive in the depths of our soul, or things that go bump in the night, meaning the parts of our shadow that we failed to address that are still yielding karma upon our material existence. It wasn't one of those. This is like a purging of karma or a cannibalization of sorts. So things that we shouldn't take with us into, paradise. Things like when we leave the body, when we divide, when we transition from this life, there's karmic causes that we are going to want to abate. We're not going to necessarily want to have those come up for review. It's not about the judgment piece so much as it is we don't want to incur any of those karmic debts. Those are expenses in the higher realm that we don't want to. And there is a sense of having made it here. It just feels like until we get something understanding wise, until we also can see we're doing purgatory here on earth. So there's some toil and trouble, Ten of Wands. There's some burdens and obstacles and struggles, Ten of Wands. Something is tedious, monotonous, Ten of Wands. It's karmic in nature, Justice card. Justice card, Ten of Wands is purgatory. Eight of Swords is being restrained, restricted. So we're locked up in purgatory so that we have this material abundance, Eight of Wands. And that's also so that we can retain our spot in this cabal of benevolent, exalted, pure, bright, blissful, heavenly beings. I think we had one foot in, one foot out, or a couple few moments of ignorance might have compromised our position in the chosen kingdom. And as a favor, we were chastised by the divine. They allowed a couple few harsh experiences or harsh cycles to befall us to cleanse and purify. Now, I'm using strong language. It's actually not suffering, it's struggling. It's not damnation, it's purgatory. It's not as bad as I'm painting it out. I'm just dramatizing an idea so we understand the basis. The thing that we did that really is kind of wonky is that we were unhealed, unawakened by a product of our conditioning and programming. How we grew up, how we were raised, how we were reared, the energy, the environment, the surroundings, locations, the colonizer, controller, meaning mother, daddy, teacher, preacher, history books, science books, religious books, those things that kind of virtue signaled us in a way where we were kind of held back, where we didn't have the wherewithal 100% completely to recognize certain opportunities that came towards us, and most of them could fall by the wayside. That's fine, but some of these opportunities were love, were chosen kingdom spouse kind of energy, not always, but more in the sense of like maybe a best friend, maybe a business partner that were also from the chosen kingdom. We were supposed to collaborate with people. We were assigned to certain people, and we weren't on the ready. We weren't at the level to like reach out and grab those bulls by the horns, to reach out and hold space for those people or energies to come into our life. And so when there were times when we could have pivoted left, pivoted right, when we were on those crossroads, when we could have gone this way or that way, we went towards the harder way. And it wasn't always the harder wrong versus the easier right. It was the less involved, less informed, less evolved way. And it was mainly because of, there's no innocence here, but so things are being worked out. There's also a message here that things will align when more divine people come into our life, and we might have spent too long purging the toxicity. We might have spent too long getting rid of the open enemies, really allowing them to leave. So when we spent a little bit of time and when we understood this calling on our life and when we understood, you know, our craft, our skill, our talent, who we were, and what we were about, when we took on this God duty obligation, when we understood our spiritual rank, when we understood the divine mission, then things began to change. There was also a lack of recognition. We kept calling things in. I don't understand. Four of Cups, though, we kept calling things in, and really not falling in line, um, because we were asked to let certain things go, mainly people. We were shown that there was going to be some tedium. We couldn't really carry everybody with us where we were going because we were involving them in our blessings, trying to take them with us to the top when they didn't even want to see us at the top. When good energy came around, maybe because some of the drama and the trauma or the toil and the struggle that we experienced in the past, when healthy energy came around, maybe it was a little bit boring or difficult to recognize because it didn't trigger our psyche the same way. Sometimes healthy energy came around and we didn't recognize. Something here was really healed, but had to repel certain energies. Also, this is somewhat, I wouldn't say the fallen, but the disgraced. We were also holding space with those who were kind of marked in a way. They were destined to have certain karmic experiences to purge and purify them. So this main thing of disobedience was just that when it was time for order over chaos, we decided to kind of keep on keeping on, to hold on to energies that really didn't align with us because it felt good. We couldn't let go because it felt good. But that was also a product of never have had better. So a lot of this karma is going to be burned off around Taurus, Gemini season. The wheel's going to open up during Gemini season. Something here is in God's hands, and it's about, yeah, because we were our own worst enemy, but it really, the thing that we were the most inimical about was that not letting people go when it was time for them to go. Rotten fruit will fall off the vine by itself. Most trash takes it out, and when it doesn't, it's a parasite. Most trash, especially human trash, will take itself out, and when it doesn't, it is a parasite. So we weren't assigned to most of the people in our lives; they were attachments because we were given a spot to post up at, and it took us forever to make it there. Not only that, now we need to let the tables turn because some other energy was sitting in our spot because they were squatting, essentially. Knight of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, that's desiring either attention or a swap, an exchange of some kind. King of Swords, Justice card, that's a Libra sun or Capricorn rising. If there's a Capricorn rising there, there's a Jupiter in the first house. We could also have a Taurus rising here. I think I said that already, though. We could also have Saturn in the ninth house or in the sign of Sagittarius. We could have Jupiter in the 12th house or in the sign of Pisces. We could also have Gemini Sun or Sun in the third house or the 10th house here. So basically, it's Virgo rising here. We have a Virgo rising for certain. To a lesser degree, we might have a Gemini or a Libra. Well, there was some type of depletion, but really it was a forced change. We had to let something go. There was energies trying to touch the calling on our life, or we were not up to snuff spiritually, and so some experiences happen on Earth to get us cleaned up. And the thing that made us not up to snuff is we weren't being as obedient to the calling on our life or the divine mission. And I'm hearing delayed obedience is actually disobedience. But this is actually so that we could, when God chastises you, when the divine chastises you, it means that it's in alignment. It's a sign of love. The thing about a fool is when you tell them the truth, they'll become enraged. When you criticize them, they become enraged. But when you criticize the wise, they take it as counsel. If you want to offend a fool, tell him the truth. If you want to offend the wise, tell them a lie. Okay, so let's check this Virgo energy because it could be Mars in the sixth house or in the sign of Virgo or Virgo rising. Yeah, finally, we've started to get discernment, clarity, insight by looking into things. Maybe we retreated and we went inside and looked for answers. There also is this high level energy that is using what they know about our destiny, really, Wheel of Fortune, to get in or get access. And something here has also healed themselves through our own divinity. And the thing is that earlier on we were told to let them go, to purge them. That something here is a little bit of an outlaw or might have been exploiting a loophole. Justice in the hangman, that's a loophole. There are no loopholes in the divine. The loophole that we know of is the rule of lesser magic, which means that we unknowingly gave them consent. It's the only loophole. In the rest of the universe, sure, upon the earth there's lots of them, but in the universe there's only one. And it's not a loophole, it's a universal law. It's just called the law of lesser magic. If you tell a person what they're doing, what you're doing to them, and you give them a way out, you're permitted to do what you're doing. Prigione, the prison. So somebody warned us what they were going to do to us, but they dressed it up colorfully because it's saying that they're in alignment and they perfectly did what they were doing. But what they really wanted to do was either cause havoc, chaos, or give demonic energy towards us so that we would look unsavory, disgraceful, or something like that. But there's a divine eye here that sees what's going on, and it is also allowing whatever experience that we're going through, knowing that later on we will come out of it or be redeemed, which would compound the punishment or infraction or reversal or the karma of this energy that did it to us. But also, they use what happened to us as a learning lesson to us, so that we'll learn just how precious what we possess is. That's something that we didn't know, but this is a little bit school of hard knocks, because also we were never told. I feel that we just ignored our intuition, or we second guessed the wrong thing. But something's coming back around. Once we've had a moment alone with our goodies, something's gonna shift and change. There was a short-sighted victory with a boundary that we put up or something of those lines. Some energy here is also going to realize that they have a connection to us or a union with us after they confront some things. We're guilty of something, but it might not be like we did something to be charged guilty as. It might just be that we got caught up in something, we were associated with something, something happened through our own energy or influence. It could have just been that our energy was used to do something. Kind of like our name was stolen, our credit was stolen. I'm not using those literally, I'm using those as an arbitrary example. What is this Hierophant with the Five of Swords? And that's order over chaos, but here it's addressing something distasteful as a policy. The policy here is we do better when we know better. That's literally the policy. And we will turn our mess into a message. We will turn our test into a testimony. We will turn our poison into medicine. We will we will turn our poison into medicine. This is a sickly. Amalato is the malady, the sickness. Yeah. So we will turn that poison into medicine. Babino, this same bed, but one has a cover over it and the other one needs attention. Whatever happened to us will quickly come back on the origin of what happened. Nothing in the end will have been taken or changed. It will appear to be, but in the end, in the very end, the truth is incontrovertible. Malice may attack it, ignorance may derail it, but in the end, there it is. And it may take a millennia to come out, but like the sun and the moon, the truth will always emerge. That's a quote by the Buddha, by the way. Okay, so I'm just getting this energy here of something cloaking itself in our energy, or being a shapeshifter of some kind. It's doing whatever it can to appeal to whatever it perceives as our way to be accessed. And instead of just saying, hey, this is what I want from you, how can I get that? It's trying different tactics. So I dislike that shape-shifty energy. Be about what you're about. Stand on business. Do you know how to light a kick it? What is this? Okay. I was asking about the sun and the moon because that means melodrama or a mystery being revealed. Yeah, this they will eventually show their hand, and we'll be able to express just how displeased we are. And I just want to be very clear: When we express our displeasure, if a person doesn't meet us there, they don't have to agree. But if they override and bypass our displeasure when we express it, especially in response to something that they did, we can move on, carry on, and never look back. If they say, boy, I didn't know I contributed to that experience, I'm sorry, without justifying or excusing what they did, but just acknowledging our perspective of the experience, that's fine. They may not, overly apologize. They might not do a massive correction, and at least if they acknowledge what experience they're contributing to on our end, that's enough. That's sufficient. Okay, so we have a pair of fours here. Let's look at that. Because these two fours are positive. However, normally fours are negative. Like any four, a double four could be suppression, repression, a double four. With the wands out, it negates. So we have a four of wands, four of cups, which means that we're a little bit apathetic about a connection that we know that should be getting off the ground, and we're trying to make it happen, make it work. We're trying to solidify some kind of foundation of connection here, and it's taking a little bit of a moment. What both parties don't realize is the thing that they want has manifested. They're unable to see it yet with this current perspective. There's some kind of boundaries or standards or short-sighted energy here. One party had to withdraw to take a cold hard look at what's in the depths of their soul. So again, there's some second guessing, there's some regulation, restriction, restraint, something's been wrangled down. Yeah, and they're feeling bored a little bit, but really they should be feeling in union or feeling triumphant. They have a pair of fives here. And another five. So there's some disappointment. Something's going to disperse or dissipate. Also, something needs to be offered up to the spiritual world. At least, at the very least, some kind of experience needs to be gone through so that there's clarification. There needed to be a loss or stripping or depletion of some kind in a connection so that, yeah, some clearing could happen. We needed to feel some austerity. They needed to feel some connection. If there's us, them. There had to be because there's a double queen here. Wow, and that's it. um, some more corresponding energy did poke out. We have the Eight of Swords with the Lovers card. So that could be Jupiter and Gemini, Jupiter in the third house. There's some second guessing or confusion about a connection. There's an energy interested in us, and they're not being clear about their affections or their intention really. And there is some kind of resentment that they're holding on to right now at this most current precise moment. We might have done something in our naivete, ineptitude, meaning lack of skillfulness, that got them feeling some kind of way. We might have hurt their feelings, but we still are a wish for them. We would still be wish fulfillment for them. Also, what's this Wheel of Fortune and the Nine of Cups? Those two go together. So again, there's something here very special. There needs to be a moment of intimacy or I want to say the word collaboration, but it can be just conversation, communication. Something might need to be shared, made known, revealed. There's some love here. It's doing a really good job at hiding, but there's some love here, and we're kind of stuck right now, assigned to an energy where there's lessons and learning because we weren't on the level to get to this exaltation. This was a message about us needing to go through a couple few karmic lessons to get to this exalted point where a certain level of vibration, a frequency of blessings could come in, could come through. And ultimately, what that really meant was that we were going through some standards and boundaries. There was some deep intrinsic rigidity on our side that was blocking blessings and that needed to be purged so that love could come in. We might have needed to get soft again, I'll be honest. I think we became too hard. And it's okay, but it was blocking love. Does that make sense? It was repelling love away. It's what I'm getting. So as we heal, love's coming through because I think we're connected to a twin already, but our energy is not making it where we can meet each other. But the cord between us, what connects us to each other, it's really doing some heavy duty lifting. It's really moving a lot of ish out of the way, a lot of things out of the way, but there's some kind of separation right now. And actually, it's because of a trauma. One of us has an open wound, meaning our heart's a little bit, and there's a trigger waiting to happen for this connection to come back around. And I have a feeling like it's going to hit in Taurus or Gemini season because this is a happily ever after legacy building connection. And it's really deeply monitored, guided, watched. There's receipts here, so we'll understand everything in hindsight, but not in uh, hindsight is 2020, not foresight. We won't see it before, but we'll see it after the fact. So it's been a delight and an honor and a privilege to serve. Thank you for allowing me the pleasure to do so. If anything that was said resonates deeply with you, again, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. This is a quick dedication of merit to all those still lost out there to illusion, delusion, confusion, lost in the seas of time, trapped somewhere in the matrix, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the resplendent grace of the divine in unconditional love and universal oneness. Ha'anaponopono. We love you. We're sorry. Please forgive us. Thank you. We pray that your steps are ordered, your path illuminated, and that you find salvation and redemption in this lifetime. May you be happy, may you be whole, may you be well, may you be at peace, may you receive everything you ever wanted, starting with what you deserve. Until we meet again, until we read again. Namaste, Dandava, and Ashe. Sayonara, das vidanya. Auf Wiedersehen. Take good care. Bye-bye.